Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back for another race here in the European Racing Series. And this week we are here in Monaco for one of the most legendary tracks to have ever graced Formula One in its entirety, ever. Full stop. I'm Ben Reggie McConnell, and joining me on the caster's desk is the legendary Jamie M. Caster Elder. How are you doing?
I'm not too shabby, man. Yourself?
I am not too shabby indeed. I actually, just whilst we were playing the intro there, just came up with a really cracking idea, which we need to talk about because I don't want to give any spoilers away. I think we should do it for next week's ERS. It's going to be mint. But here we are, 17 drivers on the track, looking around the drivers. We got some quick boys here today. So, without further ado, MCAS, let's see your top three for the qualifying.
I hate you. It's not going to be Huscario or Tharg. They both have qualifying bans, so that makes things a little bit easier from that front. So that narrows it down to 15. I'll just say who we've got. We've not got winner from last time out, which is Brownie. Championship leader Yonti is here, so he's always a good shout. Meister, third place in the championship, is also here. It's going to be a bit of a mixed bag. Oh, who am I fancying this week? It's not an easy one to predict, especially here.
No.
There's a bit of front wing already gone. I've just seen in the pit lane. Someone has hit the wall on the way out of the pits, and that looked like a Toro Rosso.
Yeah.
I think it was Dan, actually. Yeah.
Oh, listen to that noise. I have never noticed that in this game. Obviously, I've driven on this track in the game, but I've never spectated on this track in the game. And when you go through the tunnel, let's see if we can find someone who's further back in the group. Spicy's in the pits. Hazard, here you go.
Dan.
Go into broadcast camera and listen to him come through the tunnel.
It sounds like they're going through the tunnel, yeah. You've obviously not commentated.
Oh, that's so good.
That commentate more, obviously, if you never heard that one.
All right, listen. Okay, it's nothing to do with that. It's purely down to the fact of I drive a lot, and so I don't spectate Monaco very often.
I overdrive a lot.
Yeah, that's true. But let's have a look at the drivers again, and we talk about the top three. I know you said you were struggling to think about it. Have you come up with your top three yet?
I'm just going to go in championship order, nice and boring. Yonti, Meister, Hazard. It's not going to be that order.
No.
But it's not a bad shout.
No, I think you're right, for the most part. Although the likes of Spicy are the sort of drivers that I think may actually really, live up to the name, spice things up a little bit, might actually put him onto a high step position. Now, in terms of strategy, softs are actually a very doable tyre strategy to go on. Driving around this track before, providing you keep yourself out the wall and don't have any wing damage, you can actually go softs to mediums and feel really comfortable on it, especially if you've turned your tyre pressures all the way down. Because of the lack of straights on this track, you can literally turn it all the way down to the bare minimum so that you're getting the most grip from the tyres overall because the amount of surface area that's on there, but also you're not really generating too much heat through them in comparison. I did it, like I said, last week, and last week in particular, my temperatures were hovering around about the 100 degrees mark, and that was just perfect for me. So we'll I've just realised as well, I've not done my top three yet.
No,
Yonti, Spicy, Meister.
Yonti, Spicy, Meister. Okay. Well, we'll see. Hazard's coming up to the line now, and he does a 10.7, so a little bit off the pace of Meister. In fact, well off the pace of Meister. When you look at it, it's over a second difference. I was going to look at Marino maybe, but he's put it P2. Let's try and find someone like Spicy who's coming out to your tunnel.
Oh, I want to see it. Oh, I missed it. Fragioko's just started hot lap now. We do need to do an onboard lap at some point as well. Now that everybody's on the softs, I highly doubt anybody will be doing more than one lap on them because it's just not really doable, not really wantable if I'm being honest. But we'll see. Fragioko, oh, there's a bit of wall he's just clipped there. Don't know if it, and the back end stepping out as well. He needs to keep that in check if he wants to get to the end of this race. Fragioko is giving me a heart attack at every corner. He's driving the car to the limit, but he's not driving it quickly.
There's such thing as a limit and a limit of the track. He's finding the limits of the track before he's finding his limits. Spicy comes across invalidated, so he won't be going again. Tharg has come out of the pits for some unknown reason. He has qualifying ban, so it looks like he's about to face a race ban.
dear.
But, well, that's up to him. Dan has got a front wing back on that car and has got back out. He's seems to be struggling. Just generally just carrying too much speed around certain corners. But yeah, we'll see what he can do in a moment.
Yeah, do you want to do an on-board with him for this lap?
I'll just quickly look to Frajoka. He's come across the line, does 11.6. He can't be that bad off. But okay, Dan coming down the very, very short straight into the very short run to the first corner through Dan Devont, then up the hill through Beau Rivage. Sort of just wiggles a little bit as he come up towards turn 3. Massenet, this long left-hander. Bring it in, bring it in. There we go. And then into Casino, turn 4. Avoid that little bump in the middle. Down into Mirabeau. First Mirabeau, then the Grand Hotel hairpin, also known as Lowe's hairpin, Casino hairpin, every other thing. Mirabeau Bass, then the turn 7. Portier, then the last corner before that tunnel. And get that power down. This is the longest straight on the entire track. It's actually under this bridge. Under the tunnel, sorry, which is turn 9. It is called tunnel. In then to the Nouvelle Chicane. Officially 2 corners here. Feels more like 4. So 10 and 11. Then into back. This is where you're going to see a lot of front wings go. Just running too wide there. Then into the Twimpole complex. Fast chicane, the first one. A little slower, the second one. Taking a bit of that curve. Then into Rascasse. Turn 17. Where Michael Schumacher put it in the wall a few years ago. And then through 18 and 19. And the Anthony Nogus. I pronounced that wrong, but that's the name of him. And that is Dan's lap.
Yeah, not a fast lap either. We're 10.7. I actually can beat that, by the way.
Board.
Never ever get an opportunity to say this, but I can. I can actually say I can beat that for once.
All right, let's stop commentating. Let's go watch you beat it.
I don't want to. I don't want to embarrass him. It's not really fair. Anyway, Dwip, for example, is out there on an outlap at the minute, prepping himself for going for it, and you can see a few other drivers are sort of really not. I mean, there's a lot in the pits. Mesa's just started a new fresh lap now. A lot of them on outlaps as well.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that we're seeing everybody go on softs and no one trying to run a I know that realistically you don't want to run a medium as your first tire. I agree with that, but surely you want to go mediums.
We've
initially.
not had a weather.
I have actually. Sorry, it's all dry, full stop.
That's a bit of anticlimactic. Well, this is the thing, isn't it? With this track, you want to put in a decent lap. I would have done the first run on mediums, just to get that banker lap. And you see loads of people well off the pace and Mesa up there in P1. You just want to put in a banker lap, get something on the board, because yeah, it's so easy to just make a complete mess. And all it's going to take is one person to just lose it somewhere and take their wheel off so easily on this track. You just want a time on the board, and that's why we're seeing such a variation in times, to the point that they could even be beaten by Raggy, which just shows how slow they are.
Thanks for that. Anyway, Maester coming up to the line that he's going to improve, and he has. He's improved only by a tenth, though. 1:09.563 is the time he has put down on the board. Maranello, baby, who I actually raced with just yesterday going around Canada, who was pretty quick then. Is he going to be able to be quick enough today? He's currently 1:10.2. He's got a lot to improve by if he wants to get up there with Maester.
Yeah, Frajoka is currently in the pits. He needs to come out and set some more times. 10 minutes left of this session, so they need to be pumping in those laps. Obviously, you don't want to use up all your softs, but you want to put a time put a time like that on the board from Yonti. I think Duet might have just invalidated. He just upped the curves a little bit through the last part of swimming pool, but he's going to go for the line. Maybe he hasn't. Should be an improvement.
Oh, there it is.
P3. Look at that. Time's coming down.
Well. So, all I'm seeing so far is that Yonti's at his Weebix this morning. He's really climbing well. He's 1:09.206 is his current time. He is provisional pole as it stands. We do still have 9 minutes remaining of the session, so still tons of opportunity for the track to evolve and still tons of opportunity for drivers to find that extra few tenths in each corner.
Yelp caught the rear on the first part of the Nouvelle Chicane. So easy to do because you turn in, the rear comes along a little bit later, and he just kept it out of that barrier. He's kept the car going. No damage other than his pride.
And emotional pride is always the worst kind. It can really ruin everything for you. Beaker currently setting himself up to go on a fast lap right now. Now, this is someone who hasn't had a particularly great run Well, last week anyway. He had a really rough time, and it wasn't the great race he wanted in Spain. Granted, he'd only had an hour and a half sleep, but he is now back fully regenerated and refreshed, and he's really looking on fire. Or at least that's the way it sounded when he said it earlier to me. But we'll see. Let's see how he does.
Yeah, he's
throughout the
currently
rest.
sixth in the championship. He's got a second, sixth, third in the opening 3 races, then 3 DNFs in the row. 2, sorry, in a row.
Oh,
This is round 6, and that is not good. That's wing damage, that's for sure.
I don't know what he was trying to do there.
Just got the power down a little bit too soon. Just going straight into the wall. So he'll be bringing that one back to the pits. But yeah, so Yonti's your current championship leader, and definitely invalidated. No, he doesn't. Yonti's championship leader. He didn't win last time out. He got a second to Brownie, who's not here today. Broke Yonti's streak of 2 wins in a row. Similar with Meister at the beginning of the season. So Yonti, Brownie, Meister, Hazard, Fragioko, Beaker, Scary, Spicy, Duxby, and Marino maybe are your top 10 in the driver's standing.
So Spicy's just done a 1:09.438, and he's really put himself in quite a good spot. He's between 2 of the Shizou drivers, between Yonti and Meister, which is a great place to be. These are some of the fastest drivers to exist in the game. Fragioko is currently out on track as well, absolutely gunning it through the final sector. Just started right now, and he gets on that curb just run nicely. Didn't run off too wide. This is the area where you can easily gain or lose so much time. It's so hard to get the acceleration down just right and not lose the back end, but it looked like he did it absolutely fine. This might be a really fast lap time, and it is. A 1:09.180 for Fragioko. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. In F1 2019, Fragioko is a completely different human being.
Yeah, so far this season he had 6, 5, didn't start, 4, 3. Is it going to be 2 today? I did predict he's going to do well last week. I think I predicted him for second. He came third, so he nearly got what I wanted. But if form goes by anything, he's destined for second place this week.
Yeah, and it'd be good to see him there. We've not seen him in a position like that ever. I don't think I've ever actually seen Fragioko on a position where you think, holy crap, this guy is really fast now. It's fantastic to see. I want to see it carry out through the qualifying and all the way into the race. But this man here, Meister, who is currently going through, he's just finished that chicane, now coming to that left-hander. This one, you can gain so much here, and this is easily the most fun area of the track there. You carry so much pace and so much sort of momentum. It's brilliant. And again here, some of the hardest corners. And if he gets this one just right, that was marginal, but he's done it. Is he going to be fast enough? This might be a little... No, it's not. It's faster, but not enough.
No, Yonti is out on fly. He's coming out to the Nouvelle chicane now. Little lock up on the front left as he came into it. Hopefully hasn't done any damage to the tyres. Throws it through to back. Just so aggressive through some of these corners. He's down at the moment. But as you say, these are the crucial parts. This sort of the Rascas getting the drive off and getting through the last 2 corners without touching the wall, but using as much speed as possible is so crucial. I saw most of a little bit of wheel spin on his one. Has Yonti done it?
Nope.
He hasn't. He's down by 0.05 of a second, so just slower. And he only needs to be just faster. It's not like he needs to be 1/10 faster. It's 0.26 of a second. That's the difference.
It is. So Beaker is currently out on the hot lap as well. He's 0.3 faster than his previous best. That's the area where he lost it all. And if he's done 0.3 before he even reached that point, he's already looking set for a much quicker lap than we've seen from him in a long time, actually. So the tunnel. Oh, beautiful sound. Now coming towards the Nouvelle chicane. Brake hard, get down into gear 2. And if you need to get into gear 1, you can actually get a better exit there if you go into gear 1. But he's done it just fine in gear 2. Don't run wide. Oh, that was scary. Kept it together.
A bit slow through there.
Yeah, just a touch. I think he's just not feeling the car. Monaco is a very difficult track nonetheless, but he's really committed.
Well, he's going to go for it anyway. Oh, see, he's got to beat a 10.8, his previous best. Could be a low 10. It's a high 9. So not too shabby. AMP5 for him.
Yeah.
And we're at your favourite time now, aren't we?
We are indeed. This is the calm before the storm. All the drivers, or at least majority of them, are in the pits and ready to push themselves for that final attempt at a hot lap. We do expect them to be coming out around about 2 minutes 10 if they want to go for 2 runs. If they want to go for a singular run, then we're looking at around about 1 minute 30, 1 minute 40 maybe. just to make sure that they can clear themselves of some traffic, find themselves with some grip, but that is a very, very difficult task to complete when you're here in Monaco.
Yeah, Marino Baby's gone for the easier option, come out really early, just get a better time on. Don't worry about the traffic, because there won't be any by the time you get through your pace lap. The only person who's on track that can potentially get in the way is probably going to be Beaker. Hazard is miles away, Dup's miles away. Mario's got most of this track, pretty much the entire remains of this track all to himself now. So let's see, can he improve? And see, can he get up into that top 5, which is so tight. It's getting tight. It's getting tight. It's not tight yet. Top 2, 3 are even very tight.
Oh, there's a wall.
Nudge that wall.
And another one.
Yep, he's pushing it.
Yeah, but he's slowing himself down by doing it. He doesn't realise that he's pushed himself so hard. Obviously, those walls, they don't help you with your acceleration. They slow you down. He's about to find that out now. He's going to be faster than he has been previously, but still, it's a 109.470. Definitely faster, but I think that time won't be enough, I don't think. I think he'll probably fall to about P8.
Yeah, I suspect you might be right. He's only just done it on the final lap, and I think he's backed out. So he might go for a cooldown and try again, but takes a lot out of your tyres. Dup is backing out of his lap by the looks of things. As I got a hiccup, sorry.
That's all right. Hazard is currently going for a hot lap right now, just started. He's already looking slow. He's already decided to back out of this. Still got tons of time. There's a yellow flag ahead of him. He's not sure exactly where it is, so you can see him gingerly going through the track at the minute. I'm trying to work out. That is a Williams, so it's going to be Duxie B. No, it's not Duxie B. Yeah, Maranello Baby.
Maranello Baby looks like he's going for a cooldown and then going to go again. As he lets Hazard go through. I think Hazard's doing a similar sort of thing, just taking it easy. Along with Do It, they're all taking it easy and going to go for one last shot as all 15 cars are out on the grid or the track at this precise time. And it is a short track and not an easy one to pass on. So
no,
everyone needs to have the wits about them. Even the official drivers have problems with it. We saw it in the actual race coming off Casino that I can't remember who it was, got completely blocked. No fault of either driver, just you can't see anything around these corners. I know the barriers might not look high because they come up to the waist of the marshals, but they are high when you are quite literally with your arse on the ground.
Exactly that. And you know, in areas like this where the walls they feel so close, and you know, make that slight mistake, you're gonna be in it. You get into the wall, you're gonna have wing damage. At best, you're gonna be having wing damage. In a worst case scenario, you're gonna have wheel damage, and you're out of the race. Oh, like Fragioco just did. That is not good. He just clipped the rear onto the inside wall, and now that's it. That's his qualifying done. I mean, he could really push and try and get it to the line again, but
he could.
I don't know if he's got the time now.
Gonna be touch and go.
No, I don't think he can do it.
I think even if he drove the most perfectly sector, he's not gonna make it. But get pretty much the bits and get out of the way. Brogan has retired down there in 15th. Not a good day from him. Spicy's finished in 4th at best. So our eyes are on Yonti, Spicy, possibly Yonti, Meister, and possibly Beaker. To see what they can do. Where are said drivers? Beaker's coming up to the tunnel.
Oh, Hazard! That was not how you want to be taking that exit through there. He's slower. You know, P9 is the best he's going to get from it, but he just lost it.
Vexation. Vexation has lost it at the Nouvelle Chicane in front of his teammate. Fortunately, no, she's there for Macy's going to go for it. Yonti's also pushing. They are pushing hard. This is it. It's so important to get pole here at Monaco.
Yeah.
Just to be out, away from everyone. Macy coming up to the line.
It's not enough. He's slower, but Yonti looked like he was on fire. He's actually a 10th faster. Is he going to be pole? He is! A solid lap time there. 1:09.024. That is Yonti on the top step. He's setting himself up for the double. He's got the pole position. Now, is he going to get the race win? It's that, like you said earlier, in this sort of track, this is an opportunity where qualifying is 90% of this race. It's so hard to overtake in this race, and that is why we say, you get P1 in the qualifying, you can almost guarantee, providing you don't make a big mistake, you're going to get the race win. But here is the qualifying results after that session. So Yonti takes pole position with Fragioco very shortly behind by just 1.5 tenths in P2. Meister takes third with Spicy in fourth, Beaker taking fifth with Marinella Baby in sixth, Astro Boys in seventh, Drip in eighth, Hazard in ninth, Yolt and the Bahamas in 10th with Duxby in 11th, Fixation 12th, Durastav 13th, Dan 14th, Brogan, Thaig, and then Haskari. Those last two didn't have, they had qualifying bands, whereas Brogan didn't. He just couldn't quite put a lap together that was quick enough. But here we are now in Monaco.
Yeah, you only want to start at the very front or at the very back. At the very front so you can lead and get away. At the very back, so you just sort of sit back a little bit. Let everyone else take their front wings off, and then you go through. Okay, it's not a fun race to do like that, but sometimes that's what you need to do just to avoid losing those wings.
So, I want to point out how dangerous Turn 1 is going to be. Turn 1 is going to be absolutely crucial for the start of this race. We may see a safety car straight away, and quite often we do see incidents on Turn 1 just purely because people want to send it down the inside, and on this track, it's just not a way to do it. You can't, 2 wide is next to impossible. 3 wide is impossible. So, there are going to be drivers who will try it, don't get me wrong. But whether they're going to try it here today, I don't know. But, Amkasa, you pretty much nailed it on the head there, didn't you, in terms of the prediction? I think you said Yonti, Meister, and then Brownie, right?
Yonti, Meister, Hazard.
Oh, sorry.
Brownie's not here.
No.
So it'd be quite hard to predict Brownie.
No, but I thought you went because you went for the championship leaders. But obviously Brownie is not here.
So yeah. Yonti, Meister, Hazard.
Yeah.
Even though that isn't actually the championship order. The championship order is actually Yonti, Meister, Fragioco. They've got it incorrect on this.
Well, I mean, you got the 3 in the right way.
No. I got
if you'd gone with Fragioco.
Yes. Unfortunately, I didn't. So that's 100% Fragioco's fault, actually. He's the one that does the sad things. If he'd done him correctly, then I would have predicted it almost correctly. So, his fault.
So I've been informed that apparently the lobby has glitched. It's got the issue where those that you can see that have got the wheels spinning, they can drive, the others cannot. Just a bit frustrating. So likelihood is this is going to be reset, but we can talk about the track overall. We can talk about how everything's going to pan out throughout this race. We'll do predictions first of all, because there's a few things that I think... Yeah, I've just seen it as well, but we've left. So let's talk about the race itself. So obviously this year in the official F1 it was quite intense. You had Hamilton who was on seriously old tyres with a very quick Verstappen chasing him. And on a track like this really sort of promotes the Red Bull car. And I've said he tried his best. He just couldn't pull it off. He couldn't get past him. And he held him. There's been a lot of controversy, if you like, around it. But overall, it still ended up with Hamilton taking the win. It was very touch and go. Do you think we've got any sort of drivers in here that you think are going to be... I mean, Yonti's looking seriously quick, isn't he? He looks like he's untouchable.
Yeah, well, that's the thing with Monaco. We saw it this season and the season before with Danny Rick's engine going almost kaput. He saw him basically running without his kinetic motor, wasn't it? And that just shows how hard it is to get past this track. There's no real straights. The one straight there is that has DRS is so short, it's not really a straight. It's about 500 meters long. The longest straight is the one going under the tunnel, which you don't have DRS on, and it's not quite straight. So to try and get past one, you have to be quite inventive in making moves. We're going to see overtakes in Sandevant. If you get a good drive off there and you're just behind someone, you might have a chance going up Beaurivage, but highly unlikely. The next place is Turn 5, the first of the Mirabeaus. People quite often try and send one down the inside there. It does work. I've seen it work quite often. After that, obviously, then down into the Nouvelle Chicane is where you're going to see overtakes. And then there's no other real overtakes until you're back to Turn 1. We will see people trying to make overtakes where they shouldn't be making. Most notably the hairpin. No one in the right mind should be trying to make a move down there unless the guy in front is currently in the barrier. So we'll see how they do. We're just waiting to see. I haven't got a lobby invite yet. Have you?
Nope, not yet, but I'm
Got
sure
an
they'll
old lobby
be
invite.
quickly sorting it out. So, the Haas have been looking pretty good this season overall, right? So, both Yonti and Beaker, apart from Beaker's last 3 races, which have been pretty tragic to say the least, Yonti has looked really, really quick, and I want to continue that sort of spree throughout the rest of this because I actually think he could take this championship. He's in a really solid place to do that. No one else seems to really have an answer for him. The only person who did was Brownie, and Brownie's not here today. So if Yonti can carry this pole position start and bring it all the way to the end of the race, then we'll be in a position where you'll see Yonti get a 25-point boost against Brownie and really sort of help himself a little bit. So if there's any tracks that he's not particularly great at, he will have that little cushion, protect himself from Brownie. Brownie's going to have to really work hard to bring it back together. And I just think, Yonti is looking just untouchable too much, in my opinion.
Yeah, the Haas are 139. Mercedes are next on 78, closely batting with McLaren on 74. So there is a fair gap there. I mean, the other gap we're talking about, 34 points between Yonti and Brownie. We have 5 races in at this point. That's not a small gap. Yes, okay, Brownie DNF'd in Australia. That's really helped Yonti out. Yonti then got 2 wins in China and Baku. Second place is either side of that, and 4th place in Australia. So the other thing is Maester in 3rd. He won the first 2 races and was looking pretty. DNF, then didn't start, then came 9th. So he's not really helped himself out in his attempts to get up after Yonti. So it's so crucial. As with every league, it's so crucial not just to win, just to turn up sometimes is the most important part.
Yep.
And finish races. Even if you don't finish in the podium, just get constant points. And you look at Fragioko, he's 4th in the championship on the fact that he's had a better set of results than Hazard. He's got 6th, 5th, 4th, and 3rd, and it didn't start. If he started and got a decent amount of points, he would be 3rd in the championship, potentially. He's only 7 points behind Maester. So if he just turns up, he gets the points that he gets. Consistency is so key.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we sing and praise it all the time. We talk about how consistency is way better than race pace, especially on a track like this. Any street circuit, Baku, Monaco, and particularly Singapore, those 3 in particular, they are massive when it comes to being consistent. If you are not consistent, you are going to severely injure yourself. Now, Monaco being the more dangerous one because it's probably, I think, in my opinion, it's the most narrow of all of the tracks, and it can easily kill you any opportunity because of how much there'll be areas where it demands you to be perfect at trail braking, also demands you to be able to turn the car just nicely at the right time, get the right amount of grip, because if you even slightly affect that line just a little bit, it's like Castle in Baku, for example. The margin of error there is so small. If you're a little bit later or a little bit early, you'll just hit the wall either way, and you'll get damaged, and in a worst case, you'll end up retiring the car. In Monaco, almost the entire track is like that. You can't afford to make any mistakes. You can't afford to be late on the steering. If you are, or even on the brakes, if you're just a little bit too heavy and you lock up and run deep, like the hairpin. The hairpin is by far in the area you cannot make a mistake. You will run wide. It's so hard to turn anyway. You are full lock, and that in itself is a problem. So you can hear the beeps. That means exactly one thing. We are about to get underway with the race again. The weather should be dynamic, which it is, which means that we no longer know what the weather is going to be like.
Hang on. Frederick was just saying in Discord, don't ready up and end the race. It is set to dynamic. Hopefully it'll turn up dry. It is supposed to be a dry race, and that needs to be obviously set. So if this turns out to be wet at any point when we restart it, hopefully it won't be wet. And we're about to find out.
It'd be quite horrific if it was, wouldn't it? It's going to be pouring it down, watch. Oh, it's dry. Okay, we're good.
It's good.
All right, here we go. So I think we're good to go. I don't know if they managed to sort the custom grid out in time before everyone started readying up. I imagine they did because they had opportunity to stop the ready up if they wanted to. But the drivers are all now applying their setups again. Now, the thing to remember is because this was a lobby restart, it does mean that the drivers do start all on fresh tyres. But the top 10 have to start on the tyres that they qualified on.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. So yeah, the compounder tires. So softs if you qualified on softs. Anybody outside the top 10 can do whatever tire strategy they want.
Well, we'll see that in a moment. We're just waiting for everyone to ready up. We've got going to go into formation in 15 seconds, and hopefully they hurry up because I don't know how long it takes to put a setup on that you've already got saved. Obviously, it takes a while.
It's also the the planning of the actual strategy itself, the setting up of the fuel that you want to go for. But here we go. We are now officially prepped and ready for the formation lap. So now I'm going to ask you. Ooh, interesting. Astro Boys and Dwip
They
are on
can't do that.
mediums.
Well, looks like they might be getting a post race disqualification after doing that. That's not allowed. Okay, well, enjoy that, Adams.
Interesting. I'm just trying to double check
Astro Boys
that
says it
all of those.
couldn't select tyres.
Interesting.
That's what he's claiming anyway, obviously. But, well, everyone was on softs, so obviously out of the top 10 they can change. Some have gone medium, some have gone softs.
Yep.
But in terms of predictions, I'm going to say as is.
Well, Jonty Fragioco Meister.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fragioco messed up his qualifying lap, so he's got pace. I think Yonti's got race pace.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll see how that's going to work out in a moment, aren't we?
So I'm with you. I think the one thing that makes the difference is the undercut overcut. If Fragioco does have the pace, he should have no issues with doing an overcut in a response to Yonti's pit stop. But again, it depends on what sort of tire wear they're going to be having, because that is going to be the main factor here. Now, you can lose pace, that's fine. You can hold drivers up, that's fine. But if they decide that you stay out and they go in, and you go out and do another lap on the same tires, and you do a slow lap, and they have a nice fast out lap, you're going to lose that place as soon as you come into the pits, and that is ultimately what's going to come down to. I think race strategy is going to be the most important factor here today. You can be as quick as you like, but if you can't pass the car in front of you, that's going to mean absolutely nothing. And we're just lining up now. So I'm going to say the same as you. Jonty, Fragioco, Meister. Well, all right. Jonty, Meister, Fragioco. There you go. But we are here now on the grid. Everybody's in their little boxes ready, and the lights will go out, and we will get underway with the Monaco Grand Prix. It's going to be a dash towards the first line already. You can see Jonty getting away from it. That's Meister trying to get down the inside of Fragioco. He's got the inside line. There's Fragioco just clipping the wall. Don't think there was any damage, but it's looking pretty tidy all around. I don't see any cars that are really having any issues further down the field. Everything seems to have stayed.
Oh, there's definitely some wings. Sorry, there's a lot of wings. I've just seen about 4 or 5 front end plates go flying there. Bit of desync going on at the back as well. I think Brogan and Dennis have had a little desync. And there is, looks like Tharg making a move on Husqvarna down the inside of the first of the middle race, but definitely a lot of contact.
Oh, there's more.
Yeah, it's looking very processional around that corner.
I mean, they were very much just queued up, waiting to get through the hairpin. But Dennis got caught out, went into the back of Brogan, then damaged his right wing as a result. I think, went into the back of Tharg, and Brogan went into the back of him. So it was just damage left, right, and centre. But as we're coming towards the end of the first one, oh, what's happened there?
He's got no front wing. He's lost end plates on both sides, most of the elements on the left-hand side. Still got a bit on the right, but he's coming under so much pressure from everyone because he just can't. No wing on this, and it is impossible just to point the car in the right way. He's almost looking like he's trying to get out of people's way, but partly because he just hasn't got the pace. So busy pit lane is about to happen. Are we about to see a double stack in Alpha? No, not. Thug's gone through.
No.
And only 2 pit stops.
Thug was hitting the back. He didn't actually have any damage other than what he got. No damage at all. It was his teammate that got the damage. And Brogan decided to stay out as well, so I think he might be alright.
Yeah, I was say that there was definitely a lot of wing end plates flying around on that opening lap. Duke's gone for hards, so he's going to try and push those to the end, I reckon, from there.
Sorry, go on.
I was just saying Duke's on hards, and that's an interesting strategy if he's going to try and take those to the end of the race.
Yeah, hards are very slippy on this track. absolutely, and that's definitely not a situation you're going to be in. But I have found the source of the end plates that you saw go missing. So Marinella Baby is missing a right end plate. So is Yolt Nabamus. Hazard is fine. Vexation, I think, has also got a missing right end plate. No, he doesn't. He's actually got full wing. Duxie B is fine as well. Dan is looking okay. Yep. And the Red Bull of Huskari is also okay. And I think we're fine from there on out, except Dennis.
Well, Hazard, I think, is going to try and make a move here on Yelp. He was closing in, but just it's going to be the story of the day. Is those last two corners just didn't get the drive off that he needed. That is what you're going to hear probably about 36 more times here today.
Yeah.
Every time we're looking at someone coming off that corner, he just didn't get the drive that he's after. And it's going to be so crucial to get the drive off that last corner. Hazard looking to... Oh, I think he's going to make a move there, but Yelp covered him off. On the racing line, completely fine. The racing line, as you said, on the hot lap, takes an interesting bump there for the route that goes underneath the track.
Yep.
It's not so crucial in this game. It's more crucial in the actual F1. I keep driving over it and have never had any problems, but I'm going considerably slower than these guys. But
yeah,
Hazard, is he going to make a move here? He's close enough. He's not. He's playing it safe. Just trying to put the pressure on Yell, I think, just to make him make another mistake and lose even more wing.
Yeah, Hazard is trying his best to try and force Yolt Nabamus to be caving under the pressure. Yellow flag sector 2, that's Twip who's left the session. Brogan and Dennis have had a mistake. Oh, sorry, Brogan's made a mistake. He clipped the wall on the inside of Novell chicane. He's got a 3-second time penalty for just straight up cutting the corner. No damage on his car, but his tyres are hot.
That was an interesting move there by Hazard. He took advantage of a very deep Yell. Came through on the final two corners. I don't think I've ever seen cars try and go too wide there. Vexation corner cuts the first corner attempt to try and make a move on Hazard. But yeah, dropping 2 places. And yeah, I mean, I don't think I've ever seen 2 drivers try and go side by side through those final 2 corners when it's hard enough to go 1 wide through those corners.
Yeah. So, race leader is still Yonti. Meister has managed to get past Fragioko somehow, and Fragioko now sits in 3rd place. But the gaps have started to get quite extensive already. The only real gap in the sort of top 10 is Spicy onto the back of Astro Boys. Obviously, Meister's still slowly but surely hanging in there for the battle for P1. But then you've got the battle now. What was for P8 and P9 has now just been separated enough. And I think Hazard is going to be looking pretty good for now.
Yeah, Duxie B is trying to make moves on Yell. Yell tries to cover him off, going to the back, comes back to the racing line, covers him off once again. But this is where he's going to really struggle through these corners because he might have to lift just to survive. More penalties being applied. Vexation 3 seconds. And I think we're going to see a fair few penalties from people that aren't named Hazard.
Yeah.
Just those fast corners in the swimming pool complex. You're just taking too much. So easy to get penalties. And turn 1 as well, don't forget. So easy to get penalties through there. In fact, most of these corners have a chance of getting penalty. The interesting one is actually Casino. Considering how slow it is, you can actually pick a 3-second penalty for just cutting the inside.
Duxby's looking for it. He just can't get through. There's no gap. He might go for it here, but then immediately Yolt Nabamus double the moves. That might get sent to the stewards there. That was
racing line.
Racing line. I mean, he moved in and moved straight back over again. I would argue that was a double defense move, but I mean, it's such a short run there that it's very much on the limit either way because it's close to the braking zone no matter what you try and do. So, Astro Boys has lost their position of Spicy. Spicy is through now. And I'm also looking at Astro Boys' wing. I think he's missing left end plate. Yes, he is. So turning right is going to be...
Sorry, the Yells and Duxby are locking up and a little nudging going on. Yeah, sorry, go on.
No, that's fine. You carry on. I mean, if Duxby is trying to get all over the back of Yolt Nabamus, and you've also got Thigh on the back of him, so Duxby is going to be seeing both the front and back of these arrows. He's going to be really struggling. Here comes Thigh down the inside. This is a tough area to go for. He's going for the move. I think he's secured it. He has. Thigh with the overtake. Man, that was insane.
2 DNF so far this season. He looks like he should be a front runner after that. That's interesting move and beautifully executed. But I want to stay on board with Thigh because we're coming up to the place where you, I believe, in my oh no, I need to go through. Let's go back with Duxby. This straight here, I think you've incorrectly called it as a double move. It is a perfectly legitimate move. He's moved on the racing line to the right as it goes to the right and then comes back to the left as Brogan's DNF'd. You're allowed to go across the cover off and then he went back to the racing line. Perfectly fine.
Oh, we'll scratch that thought for a minute because Hazard was looking for a move there. Maranello Baby blocked him off there. Asher Boys now has cut the track completely. Gets a penalty as a result of that. And Maranello Baby is now on the back of him. But that was very touch and go there for Hazard. Hazard! Big mistake there. That's Asher Boys. He's out of the race. Loses his front right wheel. And it was almost a collection there from Maranello Baby and Hazard into the back of him. More issues there. That's a Thig, is that? No, that's not. That's Brogan. That's another one who was out as well. So he is definitely in trouble, but this is a scrap for P6 right now. Somehow Maranello Baby needs to hold on here going in towards turn 1. He's got the benefit of the fact that this is a very hard track to go for, but with these drivers that are absolutely committed to trying to do the impossible in area where it's probably not the easiest thing to do.
Yeah, I'm keeping my eye on the other Williams actually. Duxie B is getting frustrated behind Yelp. I don't think it's long before this results in a big accident. Duxie B is just all over, but he just can't find the way past. Thig's gone and gone. He made the pass last lap and is already 5 seconds up the field. Duxie B just can't find the grip, can't find a way through. And I think he's going to start getting frustrated. He made a move last time into Nouvelle Chicane and just touched Yelt's rear. Fortunately, no one spun, and it was just a bit of a traffic jam. But Duxie B, once again, getting that power down off Portier, turn 8. Is he going to fancy a move down the inside? He's a little too far back this time. Thinks better of it. I think just...
Oh.
Yeah.
Mistakes there from Jon Labamas is going to bring Duxie B into an attempt to try and go for it, but again, the run is just a bit too short. He could have got the inside down line there, possibly. Jon Labamas is struggling, but this is hindering Duxie B's race so much. He knows he's faster. He has to find a way. He has to get brave. That's what he needs to do right now. He needs to get brave and just send it somewhere and pray that he can pull it off. But right now, here's the run. This is the run for him. Look how close he is to the back of him now. He has got everything he needs in order to get this overtake done, but he's going to be taking the outside line. It's just going to be too tight. Jon Labamas goes almost sending Duxie B into the wall there. Duxie B backs out smartly. But again, we're in a situation where we're going to end up with more problems if this continues.
Duxie B needs to find some courage. He needs to get onto the Wizard of Oz and get himself some courage, because that is what is severely lacking here today. You need cojones to steel, really, to make a move on pretty much anywhere on this track. Yes, okay, some corners are slightly easier than others, like turn 1. If you put it on the inside, at least you might get away with running over the corner a little bit, and you won't end up in the wall. Everywhere else you're going to end up in the wall, and it's not going to be close enough here. Once again, going into the Nouvelle Chicane. I think he's going to have to start just sitting back and putting it into lean and saving up fuel for a little bit later on.
Well, I mean, Jon Labamas did the right thing on the home straight of blocking the inside line, making sure that Duxie B had to go through the hard line. And all you can see now is Jon Labamas just really struggling. He's not having a great time. Beaker's in the pits.
Yeah, Yelt's tyres actually look cooked. He's just sliding all over the place. And that's the next thing that Duxie B is going to have to worry about. If Yelt is going to go in the pits and he's miles off the back of him now. Terrible drive off that final corner, as I said before. Coming into the pits here is quite tricky. If you try and come on the right-hand side of someone who wants to go in the pits, they're going to end up trying to cut across you. Yes, okay, they shouldn't be cutting across you, and they'll end up hitting you, and it'll be 100% their fault. You just got to be careful, because you're going to end up losing wing or being punted into the pits yourself. I think you've actually done that, haven't you?
Maybe a couple of times.
You've nudged someone into the pits.
Well, I think I've been the victim of it. More the point. Ooh, interesting. Vexation just slammed out of the way there. Has decided that he doesn't want to even attempt to do that chicane. Not sure what that was about. Very interesting overall. Hazard still...
That's why.
Hazard is still on the back of Maranello Baby. I don't know how, but he is right there on the back of him. Maranello Baby has not let him through at all, and it's not going to. He's going to do everything he can to hold him back. And it's interesting. We've got Williams, who's trying his best to pass, and you've got another Williams who's trying his best to defend.
Yeah, Vexation has lost another place. As Hazard, he's still hanging around the back of the other Williams. These Williams are getting themselves involved in a bit of scraps. And I hope for their pit crew they've brought extra front wings today, because that's what could end badly, as Vexation has retired. Down at turn 1, I think he's forcibly retired.
Yeah, he did.
That's what it looks like.
I'm pretty sure he went into the pits and retired through frustration. I think there was a bit of issues going on with him and Thig, which is what ultimately ended it for him. He dove out of the way, of Thig, Hazard still not getting the pace in that area of the track where he needs to try and just close up and pass Maranello Baby. Maranello Baby is doing good. He's holding himself together. And you can see now that's Fixation just slowly falling down the order.
Dan's just driven straight into the wall, and he's trying to make moves on the Sky. They were swapping places back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And Dan tried to go down the inside of the first of the mirror bays and ended up in the wall. I think he just ran out of space, or Ascari didn't leave him any space, either or. And Dan is now limping home with a very damaged car. There's no wing whatsoever on that thing. He's going to struggle for every corner now.
Yep. And again, Duxby still trying to pass Yon Labamas. And again, same situation as before. Duxby's just trying. He knows how important it is for him to get a good exit, but he's trying to get on the power just a little bit too early. He's decided it's time to pit. So he's going for the undercut on Yon Labamas. And I think that's wise, to be honest. He's probably coming in a little bit too early.
Is Marino Baby clear? He is good. Just saw Marino Baby was also in the pits. That could have been bad for him. But Dan's made it back. Despite smashing it to back, he's back and he's retired. Real surprise there.
Yeah, he made it back and he's retired. Can I just point out the gap between P1 and P2? It's 9.8 seconds after 11 laps. He's almost gained a second per lap, but he is now in the pits. So he's gone from softs, and I imagine he's going to be going to mediums. Yes, he is. This is the strategy I called before. It is doable, and it is actually really quite strong here. It all depends on how good your tyre management skills are. And Yonti is the kind of guy you can rely on to do that. He's obviously got his race engineer very much talking to him in his ear, very clearly explaining to him, this is the situation you're in, here's where you're going to finish up. And all I'm hearing is P1, P1, P1.
Yes, but the problem for me, Yonti now is Thaig. The man on a mission is on his tail. Yes, okay, Thaig's on slightly older tyres, but Yonti's on cold tyres on a track that punishes you for not having any grip. As we see with so many people nudging walls, I think he's got to get through these few corners and get into Nouvelle Chicane first, and I think he'll be fine. That little run will just warm up the tyres, and it looks like he's got Thigh covered for now. But again, it's all going to come to the drive off this corner. If Thigh can get it down, Yonti's got it covered. Yeah,
I mean, the mediums don't take that long to warm up on a track like this, especially in the summer heat like this. It really does not take long at all to get those tyres up to temperature, and that's why he's now in a position where you're going to see he's just going to start pulling away. Yon Labamas has decided it was pit time, so he's going to come out, but Duxy B has successfully done the undercut. So he's managed to get past Yon Labamas, he is released, and now he's got Dennis ahead, and only just by 2 seconds. And Dennis is full 18 and a bit seconds behind the next car ahead. So Duxy B, he's just had it. I don't think it's been anything other than everyone else's fault for him. He's not really stepped a foot wrong. He's not been able to overtake. It's a track that you can't overtake on, and he's trying to make amends to cover it back. But I just feel like it's going to be not a lot you can do about it.
Yeah, well, don't forget, Yale also had a front wing change and has only come out 2 seconds behind Duxby. So that just shows Duxby was just fully off the pace there.
Yeah.
He's now half a second off Dennis. Dennis on hard tyres. Duxby on very fresh mediums now. Can he get past Dennis? That's going to be the next question. He struggled so much to get past Duxby. Dennis' back end is just all over the place. So alive. Just wiggle. And see, can Duxby get that drive that he needs? This looks good. Dennis made a mistake there. Duxby's looking to come past. Which way is he going to go? Which way is he going to go? He's had to go to the inside. Sends it. Has made it. That was actually quite good from Duxby in the end. Battled with Dennis down the straight. Dennis I think he just took the racing line, just kept it going, and made Duxby make the move. Spicy has finally pissed it from race lead. Yeah,
he's also gone for medium compound tyres as well. I'm hoping, they're good. I was going to say, I'm hoping he's not just actually stuck in the pits. He's not. He's free and he's not lost any time. So he's going to come out probably just behind Fragioco, who is now coming up to turn 1. There he is, Spicy. Fragioco's going to be there right alongside him. I think they might actually be side by side. As they go to his Spicy's ahead of him. Fragioco now right on the back of Spicy. That was not a good situation for Fragioco to be in. He's now behind Spicy. Spicy somehow brought himself into this. Beaker up there as well. We're looking for a potential Haas 2 on the podium. And Spicy's going to try and ruin the day for Fragioco, but also look out for behind Fragioco, because Hazard, who is Spicy's teammate, is really close to the back of these.
Yeah, Spicy's got a lovely rev limiter bug as well, so I won't be watching him for a while. So yeah, Spicy can now back Fragioka a little bit into Hazard. At the moment, Thaig is up there in P2, still to pit. And that's going to help everyone slowly but surely as he'll back Maester up a little bit, which will back up into Beaker slowly but surely. I reckon we're going to see Thaig coming in probably, if he can get to lap 29, then he'll come in then. So he's got a nice run on those softs at the end.
Yeah.
He's got to get that far first.
So here's an interesting stat for you, okay? The hard tyre is a second lap slower than the medium tyre, and it only lasts 7 laps more. The hard lasts 7 laps more than the medium. So honestly, the loss you're going to gain from being on the hards is just tremendous, and you can see those that are on the hards are just not in a position of any sort of success. They're all failing miserably, and Marinella Baby is the fastest of all of them, currently sat P8, and that's after 4 laps of being on the hards. You'd have thought you'd have been a lot higher up.
He's gone very conservative though, hasn't he? Everyone else has stopped and come on to mediums. He's stopped and gone into hards, playing the safe game. Will that backfire on him?
Yeah.
We'll soon see. But the hards, by the sounds of things, can do pretty much the entire race. You say 7 laps more than the mediums. We're looking at mediums doing nearly 30 laps.
Yep.
So therefore, they'll probably do close to 37. Jerusalem has probably binned it in a wall. Oh, 6 to 3, so we're just coming up to it now.
He's 13 laps in.
That's a pit lane.
Is it retired in a pit? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, he's got fresh tyres on.
Hazard almost lost that front left end plate there. He just kept. There was a little contact with the wall, but nothing that was severe enough for him to lose end plate. He's still keeping it together, but that turn 1 is the area where you expect people to be making mistakes. It is disastrous to even think about doing it, but Fragioka still on the back of Spicy, and all this has done is really promote Hazard into this mix. It's now going to be a 3-way battle for P5, nothing more. Fragioka locks up pretty severely into there. He might look for an inside or an outside line, but it's just so tight through here. There's no real opportunity for you to take that overtake. But if he can make the next 2 corners perfect, get the exit of this one absolutely perfect, he can do the run down in towards it, and he's not. He's not going to be able to get in the place. You need to be around about 3.5 tenths behind the car as you're coming out of the exit. He's just not there.
No, he's nowhere near. Hazard is a Spicy 3-second penalty. I've lost track. There's a fair few penalties to drivers here today, and we'll see how they work out towards the end of this race. Hazard had a little hold up behind Dennis, but it wasn't too bad, so he's through. I kind of got a bit baited and thought, oh look, it's Fragioka, he's catching really quickly, but no, it was Dennis just got out the pit lane.
Yeah.
Down there in 12th. There's no race of his own, which I'm sure he'd be happy with. He might end up with points.
Potentially, especially on a track like this, you know, it only takes 1 mistake to bin your entire car, and if you only need 3 more cars to retire, and then you can actually gain a point or 2. Well, he only needs 2 really, doesn't he? But you know, if you get 3, you can guarantee that a situation, no matter what happens. Spicy is still holding on here to P5. Fragioka just cannot see a way through. Hazard is all on the back of this now. But nothing more is going to come of this, really. I mean, one of them is going to have to do a full-on send-it move. We saw Hazard do a 2-wide going through the final 2 corners, and it worked out. He did manage to pull it off. And I think once Fragioka gets sight of that Mercedes in his mirrors, I think he's going to be a bit apprehensive to even leave a gap there for him, especially when you know that Hazard can pull off moves like that.
Yeah, the only thing going for Fragioka now is that Spicy has that 3-second penalty, but he's now just dropped outside of the DRS 1-second window. Hazard is closing and just nicked it back. He might have done, actually. Going to be touch and go. Thaig, 3-second penalty out there in P2 in his defence against Maester. Fragioka does have DRS, but just unable to do anything, and that's why Spicy is the fastest man on track.
But is he, though? That's the main question. Yes, he's just set the fastest lap, but Fragioka's been all over him for a while. And I honestly think Fragioka is probably the fastest man on track right now if he could get past Spicy. If he was released, I think you'd see Fragioka pull away from Spicy so quickly. I actually think he's holding himself back in order to try and just run the risk of just keep it clean and not run any risks.
well, he's going to achieve at best 5th place then. And potentially he's going to lose out to Hazard if he doesn't get past Spicy.
Yeah,
That's the thing going against him at the moment. Sorry, I was just yawning, that's why I stopped.
no, that's fine. I mean, Fragioko is in a pickle. He knows that, especially when he knows the fact that the driver in front is now not going to pit. So the situation is pretty clear. Fragioko needs to find a way past Spicy. Not sure how, but he does. So we do have a little penalty update coming right now. If you don't hear the names from top to bottom, then they don't have penalties. So Thaig has 3 seconds, Spicy has 3 seconds, and Dennis has 3 seconds, and that's it.
Oh, obviously everyone else that got penalties is DNF'd, so that's a little bit easier. But yeah, Fragioko, he's the pickle in the Mercedes sandwich right now. And he gains up to Spicy every now and again, but then just slowly falls back. This isn't a track where you... Oh, they've got up to Beaker quite quickly. Beaker must have had a little issue, because they were about 3 seconds back, and now they're 1.7. Beaker is on quite old mediums.
Yeah.
Well, you say quite old, but when we're talking about them doing 30 laps, he's only a third of the way through, and his engineer will be on that wall going, just keep going, you're fine.
So Beaker does have wing damage. I mean, there's no end plates missing, but he does have a little bit of wing damage that is affecting him. Yonti now the fastest man on the track, so 1:12.376 is good for him.
Fragioko was just sliding through the last part. He came off the curb a little bit too aggressive and slid off swimming pool complex. Didn't lose much time, but he didn't gain anything, that's for sure. Unfortunately, he didn't lose the car. Spicy is on the back of Beaker with that DRS. Now, will this work out better for Fragioko? We saw earlier Duxby stuck behind Yelp. Then Thaig just went past them both. Is this going to help Fragioko, the fact that Spicy's having to look in front as they come to a back market? That's Duke, so I'll just drive through that. This is going to be Fragiako's favour. Sorry.
I'm gonna honestly say I don't think so. It only works out if you have got balls of steel, and in the nicest way. I just don't think Fragioko has that. I mean, I'm in the same shoes. I wouldn't have sent it into any of those sort of situations. I'd rather just take the P6 and actually make it to the end of the race rather than gamble it all and then, for a potential one place that you're going to gain anyway through the penalties. It just doesn't seem to make sense. Settle for a nice P5, happy as Larry, and go from there. But the other thing to think about is that Beaker is slower. He's slower than both of these drivers behind him, and he's just going to have to defend like an absolute machine. You're going to see stage 1 of that here with Spicy on the back of him right now. And he actually is in a position where he has got the gap right down. He's got 0 ERS to work with, though, and that's ultimately what it's going to come down to. Beaker is going to have a lot more, but he also has a lot less fuel. He's got the yellow fuel warning light, which does mean he's not going to make it to the end of the session, but he can slow this right down. He can back this pack right up, and there's going to be nothing anybody can do about it unless he makes a little mistake.
Well, the thing is, he doesn't want to... From his point of view, he doesn't want to back up too much because Thaig is still to pit. When Thaig pits, if Beaker's backed this up so much, Thaig can just get ahead of him. At the moment, obviously, he's nowhere near getting ahead. He's only 10 seconds ahead of Beaker. But if over the next few laps, we're talking about stopping on these mediums on about lap 30. If Thaig can get the next 8 laps in, get a second or so, maybe just a couple of laps, get like 2 seconds. Have a second on each of the other laps, then he's going to start to pull him to the point where he's going to come out in 4th place.
Yep.
He does have to worry about Meister behind him, but maybe the ideal is let Meister go and worry about your race. But obviously he's got a lot of pride on the line after having a qualifying ban. He wants to be running as high as possible for as long as possible and showing, look, I am good. Don't care about the qualifying ban. I can do it at Monaco.
Yeah. And it'd be good for Thaig to do that. I think his main criticism hasn't been his pace. His main criticism has been his cleanliness and consistency. Yeah, he just seems to get fired up too quickly. And honestly, I get the impression he's driving the wrong car. He needs to be driving that Ferrari where it's all about the fire and the spice and, But
Italian passion. Ooh.
Yeah, Italian passion is definitely the word. But you got to keep an eye out actually on this little battle of 4 that's going on between Beaker, Spicy, Fragioko, and Hazard. Beaker is slower than all of the 3 cars behind him. It's such a difficult area for them to actually try the overtake. But here comes Spicy. Spicy's going to try it this time. No, he's not. He's backed out. It's interesting because he could have done it. Oh, that's not what you want. So Beaker's now matched with Spicy on penalties. But this plays massively into Fragioko's favour. I may actually get a 100% prediction record here.
You may. That would be spicy, wouldn't it?
That's terrible.
I'm not ruling it out yet. I reckon Thaig might nick P3 here. This is starting to go his way. I know he's going to come out on pits and could be potentially stuck by these guys. He will have the softer tyre. Whether or not that's going to be do anything, you'll be able to do anything with it, we're going to find out. Beaker's going to start to feel his tyres going off in probably the next 6 or 7 laps. Especially with no front wing, it's just going to be even more painful for him. Spicy's got really fresh tyres.
Oh no! Fragioko! Oh, that's it. That's ruined it for him. That his entire and my prediction, by the way. But Fragioko getting a 3-second time penalty. Haskari got one shortly after, so he was only briefly on the screen. It does mean that Fragioko now is going to have to pass the drivers in front of him if he wants to gain the position, or pray that they make more mistakes and get more penalties. Dennis gets one as well, so Ferrari are not clean today. They are getting the penalties left, right, and centre. And the only person in the Mercedes that's actually keeping it clean is Hazard at the minute.
Oh, there's no surprise there, is there?
No.
I still think Beaker's going to end up with another one before the end of this race. If he's not going to pit and stay with this front wing damage, he's going to be cutting corners here, there, and everywhere. He's just going to mount up the penalties, I think, and get another one. Spicy, if he stays, if Beaker doesn't pit, Spicy will get penalties because he'll start getting aggressive in attempts to get past him, and that's where you just nudge corners and pick up those little penalties. We'll soon see how they're doing. The gap is holding relatively steady though, 11 seconds between Thaig and Beaker. So Thaig will come out. Sorry?
It's actually dropped quite a lot though. Beaker somehow brought himself right back into this now. 10 seconds is the gap. Oh, Mason made a mistake there. He's just trying to get himself pushed a little bit too far. It's not working out for him. Spicy now chasing Beaker down in towards the Nivelle chicane, but again, Beaker defending his line perfectly. Spicy's not trying to attempt any moves, but Beaker needs to be careful. I've seen him cut that corner a little bit too severely just a few times. It's cost him already with a penalty. Oh, that was big shunt into the wall there. Spicy definitely has no end plate now, and this became a very different race now. Beaker having wing damage, but still has both end plates, whereas Spicy missing one means Fragioko now, he was all over him like a rash before. He's in trouble.
Yeah, I've just looked at Meister. Meister's got front wing damage as well. That's why he's struggling to pass Thaig. Thaig's on really old tyres. Meister's got front right damage. That's why he's not up to pace. Thaig is on old tyres. Meister's got no front wing. He has less front wing. But now, can Fragioko take advantage of two people in front now with no damaged front wing? Hazard should be sitting there going, come on, I want to come through this. But he knows that he can at the end. That's what's going to be going for him. Spicy. Oh. I said it. Pressure's got to him.
Yeah.
Pressure of trying to get past Beaker's got to him. That's 6 seconds of penalties for him. 3 more than Beaker and Fragioko. And 6 more than Hazard.
And this is what separates the boys from the men, you know? You get these sort of situations where you get under pressure. If you don't handle the pressure correctly, you make mistakes. You get wing damage, you get penalties, and you get a twitchy bum like he just had there. Spicy's race is falling apart, but Fragioko's just done the same. Fragioko... Oh, no, he hasn't. Was it Spicy again?
Yeah. That's 9 seconds for Spicy. I think he might be coming in bits. No, he's fallen to bits. His wing's fallen off. And he is falling to bits himself. He's going to be sliding down. It's going to be hard for him to lose to Maranello, maybe.
Oh, there it is.
So, yeah.
Fragioko did the same now, but he's got the left wing that's damaged now, so there's no end plate on the left-hand side. Hazard is looking for an opportunity here through Fragioko. He doesn't necessarily have to pass him here, but he knows now that the drivers in front of him have got damage. He's seen that wing just blow off the side of Fragioko's car, and it does mean that Hazard is going to be trying to do what he did earlier and make that beautiful overtake one more time.
Yeah, it's all starting to work into his favour now, isn't it? It's just, right, the 3 cars in front of you all have penalties and wing damage. Do you A, try and pass them, B, sit there and wait, or C, don't care, just enjoy it.
Do my own
Enjoy the fact
thing.
you're going to take it.
Well, I mean, it's Hazard. And Hazard is the person we know for being captain consistency. No penalties, clean driving, clean wing. We've seen him in a few races where he's sent it into some silly situations, but the old Hazard is back where he's got the consistency head on, right? And this is playing exactly like you said into his hands as per usual. This is not natural territory for him. He's never in a position where he struggles like this. All he has to do is just maintain composure and not do the same thing his teammate did, which is just get completely overwhelmed by the pressure. Focus on keeping it as clean as possible. Stay on the back of Fragioka, wait for him to make a mistake, and if he does, pounce on him.
And it's only going to be a matter of time before they make mistakes with front wing damage. You look at going through Nouvelle Chicane and particularly through the tunnel with front left damage. That long right-hander is the tricky one, isn't it?
Yeah.
And tunnel is a long right-hander. So Fragioka might have to lift off a little bit through the corner. That'll allow Hazard to close right up onto him and give him a shot. That's all you need is a shot to get through. Because don't get me wrong, we don't often see Hazard get penalties, but it's so easy to get a penalty on a track like this, particularly Nouvelle Chicane. Because the angles are so odd through that corner.
So, Yonti is still flying away with this. He's not really losing too much overall in this respect. However, the gap between Thaig and...
Fragioka's nudged! He's just nudged the rear. Sorry, he's nudged the rear. Spicy's just lost the front right damn wing, and he has had to come into the pits now. He's had no choice about it. He went for a spicy move. Backfired a little bit on Hazard. He avoided all the damage, but just lost a little bit of time. He won't struggle to gain that back though, but that's Fragioka dropping down. And he's coming out of the pits now. He's going to come out behind Maranello, maybe potentially behind Husqvarna as well.
So
touch and go, actually.
The Mercedes boys are now back to back, right? You got P5, P6 for Hazard and for Spicy, and then Hazard. Do you think that team orders will come into play here? Do you think Hazard's going to be... I mean, if I was in Hazard's shoes, I'd be saying, look, you've got penalties, you also have wing damage. I don't have penalties, and I don't have wing damage. I can catch Beaker, and if he makes a mistake, I can pass him. Realistically, you're going to lose a position no matter what, so giving the position to me is not going to make any difference to you at all. Let me through, I'm going to get him.
That's kind of something that Hazard would say, isn't it?
Yeah.
Get out my way, I'm quicker, I've got less damage, and I haven't got any penalties, but... Oh, Thaig is in. Sorry, interrupting my own thought, or train of thought there. Thaig has finally come in. So he's going to come out behind Hazard on softs. And I think this is going to get to number P4. Spicy.
Potentially. I mean, Thaig's definitely going to come out P6, and there's no doubt about it. He might get onto the back of Hazard later on. He's on the soft subset, which does help him quite considerably, but Hazard was looking for an opportunity there on his teammate. It's really risky. You don't want to ruin your constructor's chances here. But Spicy needs to give that position. He needs to just realize he's lost this. There's no way for him to keep this going. All he's doing is making it worse for him. If he lets his teammate through, he gets himself into a position where Beaker is going to be under so much pressure. All this can do is work out for him, and Hazard is being held up no matter what happens here. This needs to be the perfect exit. He gets quite early on the throttle, which is good. He's got himself on the back of Spicy. He's got the RS mode into mode 4. I think he's going to go full send it. He's looking for the inside line. He's going to have to back out. There's no way for him to go there. But again, Spicy is just ruining this team's chances here.
Every now and again, he looks like he's letting Hazard through. Hazard doesn't seem alert to it, to take advantage of it. So, the thing is, at the same time, it's not harming Hazard, because Hazard's going to get Beaker at the moment. I say at the moment because it's about 1.8 seconds. Spicy now looks like he's definitely out of Hazard's way.
Yeah.
Hazard sends it. Spicy's not going to worry about Thaig.
He does, but now you get to see Hazard really commit now, right? This is Hazard pushing himself now to get onto the back of Beaker and apply that pressure to him. I don't think Hazard actually knows that Beaker has penalties. I think he only knows that his teammate has penalties, because obviously I don't think he has a race engineer like in the same way that Beaker does. But Hazard obviously has the ability to talk to the in-game Jeff and say, hey, how many penalties has this guy got? And obviously give him all the report on what they don't know. Around about now, if he's asked the question, okay, Beaker has penalties, I can actually just stay with him and pass. And I say I don't actually have to pass him. However, The benefit that Hazard has got right now is he can stay on the back of Beaker and apply a lot of pressure and make Beaker make mistakes. He's already just cut the corner quite nicely there. There's a potential he could have got a warning for that. And Hazard just has to do Hazard things and just carry on as he is.
Yeah, I'm getting excited. I've just seen Thaigs shave 2 seconds out of this lap on Spicy, and Hazard just give the little wall a kiss there. And that's front right damage. That is front right damage on Hazard's car.
It sounded like he needed to be stuck behind Spicy for a little bit longer, to be honest. He's in that sort of predicament now, but there's still protection between Hazard and Thaig. Thaig is flying. He's just set the fastest lap, 1:11.670. He's already on to just over the limit of DRS range of Spicy, and this is living up to the name, pardon the pun, but it's about to get spicy.
Yeah, I think Thaig is definitely on a point to prove. He's already on the back of Spicy. This is going to be so tricky now. Spicy is relatively close to Hazard, who's still relatively close to Beaker. I think we're going to see Thaig take P3. As I said, I thought he might. I think he's definitely going to take it. I know this is a really hard track to overtake.
Yeah.
But with Fragioko, one less car to pass, Thaig is just going to get the drive so beautifully off every single corner. Spicy's going to be a little slow going through some of these corners because of his front wing damage, along with Beaker and Hazard. And I think it's just going to work to Thaig's favour. I reckon he's going to get past Spicy on this straight. Or he's going to tears.
I think turn one's going to be a problem for him. He's going to look for it. He's got the opportunity there. They both have DRS. So there's not going to be an overtake here. He's also not gone for the mud 4, which just tell me he's not going to go for the pass here. But if he did, I'm pretty sure that would have ended in tears. Spicy just doesn't have the grip to fight this. But there's no way that Thaig can really just pressure his way through. Spicy in trouble. He's all over the back of him. He looked for it. There was an opportunity there, but there was nowhere to go. Spicy is defending hard, just trying to hold him back to make sure that Hazard is protected. Thaig knows this, and he's going to look for an inside. There's nowhere to go there, but he's just... Any little mistake Spicy makes, Thaig will pounce. He's not afraid to make that attempt. Oh, I think that would have been a warning as well, because it's such a... that is corner cut by miles, that.
That's what I'd call the penalty line through that corner. We saw Fragioko do it earlier. Thaig just attempted it, got away with it, and this...
Here it is.
He's going to go round on the outside.
It's an attempt. He gets a penalty.
Oh, well, it was not left any room to come back. Spicy left him no room to come back onto the apex. Just drove straight across. Thaig was left no space.
But at the same time, Spicy had the right to the racing line just the same as Spicy did, Thaig did.
Thaig left him room on the inside. Spicy just went straight. Left Thaig no room on the inside for his. Thaig was ahead. Admittedly, only just. If I was in Thaig's boots, I would be extremely annoyed and be taking that one to the stewards and getting that one turned over. Because he was forced off.
But now we're going to see one of two things. We're either going to see a very angry, fierce Thaig. I mean, we've already seen the fierce side of it, but now we might see an angry Thaig. And this could actually play... Okay, big mistake there, but it's okay. He's kept it together. No damage on the car, which means he's in a position... Oh, no, Beaker! Oh, the disaster. He just cut the hairpin just a bit too much. That's 6 seconds, I believe it is now for Beaker. Yep. I mean, Hazard's looking good now.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't be too excited while you still got a guy on softs on your tail. And Thaig will be pushing real good to close up onto Hazard.
So Thaig, looking for a chance to get past Hazard. All it's going to be is this perfect exit. We've seen him do an overtake early. He's going to look for it again, but Hazard knows that because he saw it done and he did it himself. But now, this is the line this is where Thaig needs to use that grip as much as possible, and he just couldn't do it there. There was no opportunity. I think whilst Hazard has got DRS, it's just going to be such a difficult area to do that overtake. Oh, I thought he was going to run wide there, but he's kept it together. And here we go again for another lap.
Yeah, we're on 34.39. It's felt like this race has gone on forever. But it is quite a short lap and a lot of laps as a result. And we've been just constantly having action. There are other actions going on. Fragiako's on the back of Marinaro Aerobi. Fresh sauce against rather old hards. Along with Yelt and Duxie B once again taking up the battle for P10. Oh, what are those two doing back there? They just seem to want to fight, don't they?
Oh, Fragioco was looking for a move around Maranello Baby there on the outside. There was just no room for him to do it. These two have been scrapping as well. Oh no, it was Hazard and Maranello Baby who was scrapping at one point. So now Fragioco is going to be trying to get onto the back of him, but not much more can happen there. Thaig now just breathing down the neck of Hazard. He's literally, here he goes down the inside. Oh, that was a sending move. This is not going to end well for you, Thaig, because that is just not an area. I mean, A for effort, but that was just
Z for execution.
Yeah, exactly. Z for execution. I think we need to invent a new letter for that. Right, stick it right at the end of it. But somehow he didn't get wing damage. However, this has released Beaker a little bit. I mean, he's still within DRS range, and Hazard will be back on him in just a second. But if these situations keep happening, this is only going to help Beaker even more.
I think that new letter is going to be called Thaig, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's very quite similar to a Greek letter.
It's just going to be a middle finger. That's the symbol for it.
Yeah, just the Hazard.
I think and Spicy as well. Obviously, if what you're saying is right in that in the chicane, sorry, then
that's from my point of view. Obviously, I'm not a steward, but the way I was looking at it, I had a view relatively decent. It didn't look on purpose. It just looked like he was trying to cut him off and it didn't work. And Thaig is now all over the back of Hazard still.
Is your heart rate as high as mine? This is just so tense. He's looking for any opportunities, more nudges, left, right, and centre. Hazard is the kind of person who will get phased by that. This is, any little taps like this, he's very easy to get quite triggered about stuff like that. And if that happens, Hazard, who wasn't even feeling pressured earlier, he just felt like he needed to push himself a little bit, and that was it. He made a mistake, damaged his wing, didn't get a penalty, but he's injured, and that is now Beacom having a horrible time. You've got Hazard just all over you. Beaker is just trying to cling on.
Oh, he's gone for it. He sent it. He's made it. Hazard tried to come across. Oh, got away with that.
I don't know. That was so aggressive.
And got through. Hazard tries to squeeze him, but with a track like this, you can't squeeze anyone because there's a wall there. So Thaig squeezed into the wall and bounced back into Hazard. And now Thaig is through. He's got to start trying to make moves on Beaker. Yes, okay, he has 3 seconds less penalties, but I mean, I'm predicting that the penalties could be overturned. I could be wrong. I have been wrong in the past. It does happen occasionally.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll see. The other thing I want to talk about is the other Haas.
Yeah.
Look how far Yonti is up the field. 18.5 seconds.
Hold on, let me just get my binoculars out because he's that far away. I can't actually see him. Oh, there he is, just coming up towards the tunnel. He is absolutely killing it right now. He's driving so cleanly, so smartly, hasn't done a single thing wrong. I don't want to commentators curse him, so I want to quickly get away from him, especially with the fact that Hazard is looking for a move on Thaig. Hazard is angry, and this is a Hazard we haven't seen for a long time. When you see an angry Hazard, you'll see him go for things that he can't go for necessarily all the time, but he's still got his head on his shoulders. He would have come full send if he was properly angry, but he didn't, and that is ultimately where it's come down to.
He's going to go full send on that corner on the last lap to show Thaig that he should have been doing it. Thaig should have done it. It was perfectly fine from my eyes. I've seen it time and time again. Thaig's actually looking to make moves here on Beaker. It's not quite close enough this time around. Yeah, I mean, that's perfectly fine overtake through that corner. I see it every single time I have a race here. People sending it into first mirror rows, and it works.
It does.
Drivers don't lose space, as Hazard did.
Yeah, I mean, in fairness, he probably.
That might not be perfect, but
I don't think you can defend necessarily that one. I mean, he did just throw his car down the inside. Here comes Hazard. Oh, there's nowhere for him to go. He's looking for an opportunity again. Beaker's just holding him back. But if no penalty is applied, and the 3-second time penalty gets removed for Thaig, then your Thaig prediction is pretty solid.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's over yet. We've still got another lap and a bit, and he's already a second ahead of Beaker, so he will pull away quite quickly. With Beaker got the front wing damage, Thaig's got a perfect car at this point in time. So he'll just start pulling away. Look, he's already up 1.4. By the end of this lap, he's probably going to be a good 2 seconds ahead. Speaking of this lap, Yonti's come across the line. He's going to start his final lap. 21 seconds behind is Meister.
And just think about how 21 seconds on a track like this is just phenomenal. It's 1:09 is sort of the pole time that we saw earlier. Obviously, we're seeing 1:11s, 1:12s currently. Thaig being the fastest car on track as it stands. Hazard all over the back of Beaker. Beaker clips the wall. It's not going to work out well for you. This is Hazard now trying to get a better line through, and he has. DRS wing wide open. He's already gone for the mode 4. This is going to be a tough line to take. I would not like to be in either car in this situation because they're going to be going too wide around the outside. This contact that has slowed him completely. Beaker's been completely ruined by that, and Hazard has rotated Beaker. I mean, they've got history. They do definitely have that, but that was.
Oh, Beaker's fortunately ghosted. He's nearly just hit Dennis. Dennis, okay, is 12th. But I mean that's just worked out wonderful for Thaig, isn't it?
Yeah, he's been gifted now. This is him running away with a good solid P3.
Sure, look at the race leader. He's about to finish the race. He's not really done anything this race, but
he didn't need to. He's absolutely nailed it. Look at that, a good solid 25 points. He's done the double. He's got the pole position. He's got the race win. That's exactly what you need. Meister will come around a little bit longer behind, but a solid P2 nonetheless. And Thaig. I don't have words to describe this race for him.
Oh, he's not done yet. He nearly made a mistake on the Rascas. Carried a bit too much speed into it. Nudging the ball. Beaker, another penalty to his name. He's got 41 seconds between him and Sky, and Sky's already finished. He's not going to drop that far now.
I think Spicy might have actually held on to P4 as well because of that incident between Hazard and Beaker. So, I mean, Beaker's just getting more and more penalties. I think he's frustrated.
Hazard gets P4. Like Spicy had 9 seconds.
Ah, that explains it.
Beaker's in the pits.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Pit on the last lap, okay.
He's just angry. There's a definite Beaker thing to do that. He's serving a drive-through.
Did he have a drive-through?
No, he didn't. I think he's just end of the race, so the game just said no. Well, there you go. That's the Monaco Grand Prix. What an absolute insane, intense Grand Prix from beginning to end. I mean, in terms of overtakes, I didn't expect to see any here today, but we saw quite a fair few. But one person who didn't have to worry about any of that was the man who's on the top step. That is Jonty. He delivered everything in qualifying. He delivered everything in the race. Takes a very solid victory today. Absolutely deserved 25 points. Meister drove a very conservative race. Did what he needed to do to get P2. And Thaig, who the overtaking man, absolutely flew today.
Yeah, I don't think we're even going to ask. I mean, drive today, it is a bit close, but because Jonty was so far ahead, I think it can only go to Thaig, though, can't it?
I don't know. I feel like it still has to go to Jonty. I feel like it has to still go to Jonty. If Thaig didn't get the 2 lots of 3-second time penalties, then I'd be like, yeah, all right, yeah, cool, fair enough. He came from P16, climbed all the way up to P3, and he drove like an absolute madman. But, you know, he had the qualifying ban in the first place. He drove, in my opinion, I think there's a couple of the overtakes there. I think it was just a little bit too aggressive, in my opinion. But, you know, we're not stewards. We're here to just commentate the race. But Jonty, in my opinion, is the driver of the day. But very quickly, Jonty in P1, Meister P2, Thaig P3, Haz P4, Spice P5, Maranello P6, Fredrioka P7, Beaker P8, Ascari P9, Duxby P10 with Jon Bahamas in 11th. Dennis in 12th, Dwip in 13th, Duraslav 14th, Dan 15th, Vexation 16th, Ostrobos 17th, and Brogan 18th. And of the DNFers, it was all from Duraslav down. So what was that, 5? 5 DNFers.
Yep.
Whew. Well, that's it for the European Racing Series. Thank you, everybody who tuned in. It's been an absolute pleasure to commentate for you. I've been Ben Ragger McConnell, and joining me has been Jamie McCaster Elder. Thank you as always, Jamie. You are a lad. And we'll see you guys next week when we're back for Canada.